Okay, hello, we are back again for some more No One But You. Alright, last time we left off, we basically completed our first day back at school from our little summer vacation. We got a new teacher, new instructor, for our, I guess he's homeroom, the homeroom one, and personally, I don't like him. He is, and his first impression, of him is, he's probably not a good guy. But I guess that we're gonna have to find out. Oh, hopefully nothing happens. I don't really want anything to happen, but if it happens, it happens. It's part of the story. And let's see what occurs on this next day of school here. With my first identity crisis of the day complete, I headed to school early. Once again, finding the campus almost empty as I entered. Although a few students had arrived before me, I was among the first, a feat my old self would never have been capable of. Still, maybe I should start heading to school a bit later. Sonata wasn't at the bridge again, presumably because it's so early and none of my other friends are here this early. Who am I kidding? Ryo's the only one who gets to school after I do. He really hasn't connected with a lot of his previous schoolmates yet. I mean, that time frame, a month or so of vacation, he mainly just seen Megumi, and now it's like, what happened to everyone? Everyone. Yeah, other than Ryo, who seems to be pissed at him from yesterday. Which, I think Ryo got angry a little earlier than he should have. I can see possibly why. It's like, you're caring more about Megumi there than me. I think he's kind of jealous a little bit there, too. It also seems like Megumi was kind of pushing him away. Like, she just went right into it. The others simply aren't attending. I'd heard that Shiro's family was in financial trouble, and that they had resided themselves to isolation in order to avoid being found by the people they owed money. Shiro refused to tell me any more than that, and since then, we haven't been in contact even once. It really sucks that he hasn't really been in contact with a lot of his friends. Ryo's, of course, as I said, Ryo's kind of pissed at him from yesterday. Shiro, even though they're basically neighbors, he apparently hasn't really gotten in that much contact with him. She hasn't seen Shinatsu in some time. Lately, after going to school, he hasn't seen her at the bridge. Part of me says that, if he really cares about him, why isn't he actually trying? I mean, I guess he doesn't know where Shinatsu lives, but the class, the club she's in, so then why don't you visit that and see if she's there? Actually try if you really want to, get to know, say hi again. I guess, Shiro maybe knock on the door and see if the parents are home. Maybe they will let you in if she doesn't want to say hi, and maybe have a little conversation with her. You don't know where Shinatsu lives. Maybe I would have found that out earlier if I decided to walk her home instead of saying, okay, you can do it yourself type of thing, what I did earlier. And then Yui, I guess she's not back from Germany or something. I don't know if they stated that. Shiro has good reason to skip school, but as for Yui, she back from Germany? I mean, she was off in Germany. Curious to see if my other classmate had decided to attend. I checked out Yui's favorite hangout, in the courtyard, isn't it? And surely enough, as I approached the bench on which she could usually be found, a certain redhead noticed my arrival. Oh, so she's here. So one of your friends are here. Whoa, I don't believe it. What's wrong, Yui? I think my eyes are going bad, and maybe my ears too. What does she mean by that? I could have sworn I just saw Hideaki. Is it really that strange for me to be at school early? There it is again. Auditory hallucinations are never a good sign. Geez, Yui and her jokes. Anyone else would think she didn't want to talk to me. Hey, I don't think I'm hallucinating on the rare occasions when you actually attend class. The hallucination actually responded. I need to go to the hospital ASAP. Following through with her gag until the end, Yui left the courtyard, leaving me all alone. What's that all about? What the hell? Sheesh. This must be how Rio feels. We don't see each other all summer, and Yui's reaction is to act like I'm not even here. Is there like some sort of rumor going around, man? What the hell's up? She may be an even worse friend than I am. I just want to know what the hell's going on. Somewhat irritated by Yui's prank, I wandered around the school for a while before heading to my classroom. I guess, it could have been Yui just playing around. She does seem like that, but who knows? Maybe she actually is, did that on purpose. Other than a joke. Maybe she's mad at something. Mad at him for some reason. More students have arrived during my side venture, including most of my friends who had gathered around my seat. With only Shiro still absent, the rest of the pack had gathered. Yo, Hitty, what kept you? Oh, so Ryo's, he's not all angry today? Ryo's not angry today? He seems a little, maybe not as pissy. Maybe it was just yesterday he just got pissed off. Oh, Hideaki, when did you get here? Ryo, Yui, each greeted me in a manner of speaking as I approached the trio. I knew I should have picked you up this morning, Aki. You barely even made it to class before the bell. Well, he was here. He was here at school. He was just wandering around. Oi. I've been here for a while now. You guys are the one who are late. Oh, you mean that wasn't a hallucination? I guess I don't need to go to the hospital after all. This girl. So, Hades waking up early nowadays, huh? What a waste. And if I were you, I'd refuse to get out of bed without a good morning kiss. Oh, shit. Oh, good idea. You should give that a try, Ryo. Really? Yeah. Don't you think it would be nice to dream forever? Oh, burn. I like Yui much better when I'm not her target. I'd have to agree with Yui. It does sound like a good idea. Oh, you gave Megumi an idea here. It's gonna be like, Hideaki, don't get out of bed until I come over there and give you a kiss. Aki, make sure you sleep in tomorrow, okay? Oh, no, you don't. I'm already wearing enough of Megumi entering my house while I sleep. Hear that, Hideaki? Megumi's telling you to dream forever. No, Ryo. She's obviously offering to wake up Hideaki. Honestly, what kind of twisted person would associate sleeping in with resting for all eternity? What? Well, Screw you guys! Apparently Ryo didn't get the idea earlier. He thought it was like, oh yeah. Having endured emotional blow after blow, Ryo ran out of the classroom. Good grief, was he always so weak? I think Ryo's feeling a little vulnerable after summer break. Or maybe just jealous because Megumi took you away from him? Not bothering to ask for elaboration, Yui took her seat, anticipating that class would have started before long. Megumi appeared to be thinking to herself as she showed a conflicted expression. What's wrong, Megumi? Oh, nothing. I was just wondering if I could give Ryo back some of his Hidi time. Wait, don't treat time with me like some kind of currency. Though, truth be told, if Megumi splits our alone time with Ryo, I think we'll all get out of this with a little more sanity. Alright everyone, take your seats. While Megumi lost herself in thought, our new teacher entered the classroom, lightly pushing Ryo inside ahead of himself. Although the boys in class showed disgusted looks as they heard our new teacher's voice, they did as he said and as did the girls. Mr. Mr. Katsuna smiled brightly as he faced all the girls in class, stopping to greet several of them personally and bidding them a good morning. He then reached his desk, pulled out the class roster, and began to read through our names. What a pedo. I don't know if I would call it pedo. See, pedo was for... pedo actually would be like prepubescent girls. I mean, a lot of people like to throw the pedo argument when it's actually like high school students or something like that from time to time. That isn't actually the definition of a pedophile. It's usually prepubescent girls, usually probably about 13, 12 or younger. Maybe you could throw 14 in there. Maybe 15. Maybe. Did you see the way he greeted the girls? What kind of favoritism is that? Someone, lend me your compass. The next time he touches me, that bastard's going down. As I listened to murmurs of dissatisfaction from the male students in our class, including one familiar voice, I remembered the ways our student teacher had made yesterday. News teacher had made yesterday. He is kind of he does have that feeling that he might have done something and maybe likes the younger girls who are in high school, which isn't a very good relationship. I don't think student-teacher relationships should exist in any manner, even if it was legal, because it's kind of a power type of thing. You got someone in power and someone not in power. They can take advantage of that. It kind of go both ways when you think about it. The student could be doing it purely to try to get good grades, and the teacher could be doing it because they know they can do it because they have the power, type of thing. Showing no interest whatsoever in the male students, he immediately focused his attention on the girls in the class, earning ample malice from the class as a whole. What I remembered clearly above all else, however, was how he reacted to Megumi's name. That's what worries me. Is there some sort of hidden past with him and Megumi? But I guess Megumi wasn't there yesterday to see him, so maybe he is today. Or maybe she just doesn't remember. And it is always possible. Amamiya Shiro. With Shiro still absent, Mr. Katsuna briefly glanced around the room, looking for any unfamiliar faces. Although he failed to spot Shiro, Mr. Katsuna did briefly set his eyes on Yui, to whom he winked subtly. Oh. That is... Hopefully Yui doesn't come like some of the other girls. That's just... I don't like this teacher. Damn, man. If I was one of the frickin' male students, I would actually go to higher up faculty and be like, I don't like our homeroom teacher. He is giving weird glances and stuff at the female classes. Not purely out of jealousy. I guess that could be one thing, but for their well-being, I mean, well, most of them probably is purely jealousy. They probably don't think, oh, they're gonna do things with them, and it's wrong type of mentality. But as someone who's older than high school age, that's more of in the wrong position. Someone in that position should not be doing those type of things. Ugh, gross. Oh, that's awesome, Yui. Alright, that's my girl. You're not like all the other girls. That bastard. He is so dead. I always wonder, does Ryo actually like Yui? It almost seems like he gave a little bit of that vibe, because early on, Yui, unaffected by Mr. Katsuna's charm, controlled her face in reaction to his gesture. Wait, contorted her face. Ryo, on the other hand, seemed to be steadily losing it. Just calm down, man. Ayumi, Ryo. Oh shit! You just said go fuck yourself to the teacher? Oh man, this guy's got some balls. I mean, he seems to be someone who is willing to get in trouble, but he's got balls, man. To actually say that to a teacher, go fuck yourself. Principal's office now. Without batting an eye, Mr. Katsuna responded to Ryo's seething hatred with a simple command. Well, this guy must be used to being hated, given how he handled Ryo. Not that I can blame Ryo. This guy is making himself an easy target for the guys, so someone with a little control, as Ryo was bound to get into this situation eventually. Next we have, as Mr. Katsuna made his way down the roster, he soon allowed a devious smirk to run across his face. There's definitely got to be something, man. They're definitely giving off hints that there is something with this guy and Megumi. I don't know what it is, but there's definitely something. Inoharu Megumi, calling her name with unmistakable pleasure, Mr. Katsuna looked around the room briefly before landing the girl in question. I followed his gaze and looked at Megumi, only then realizing that she was frozen stiff. Shit. If she's frozen stiff, and not her usual self, there has to be something. Megumi hadn't said a word since the teacher arrived, and I assumed that it was because of her outstanding classroom manner. Looking at her now, however, she's scared stiff. Damn, man. You definitely need to question Megumi after this is over with, man. You need to try to have her open up on what, if there's something, because if you can't be totally stupid and oblivious that there is something here, something. I mean, you can't help her or protect her in a manner if you don't know what the problem is. Only other thing you can do is keep an eye out from the distance. Keep an eye on that damn teacher. Come on now, Megumi. If you don't respond, you're going to be marked as absent. Quite clearly knowing who she was, Mr. Katsuna continued to leer at Megumi as provoking her to speak. But Megumi, the usual cheerful, boisterous, and outgoing leader of our class, remained silent. You! When Megumi finally opened her mouth, only a single word made it out. Her tone of voice, usually energetic and carefree, was laced with fear, if not hatred. Whatever her previous experience was with this teacher, it couldn't be good. Well, I guess that's close enough. Next up, Mr. Katsuna continued marking the roll, acting as though the silent exchange between himself and Megumi never happened. Megumi, on the other hand, no. Can't be. Like Ryo before her, Megumi spoke to herself quietly, thrown off by the presence of our new teacher. Unlike Ryo, however, her tone portrayed fear and disbelief. Shit, man. There's definitely something wrong. And I don't know what it actually is, but it's definitely something not good. With the first class for the day coming to an end, the scene before us played itself out in a similar manner to the day before. Paying no mind to the glares from the boys, Mr. Katsuna invited numerous girls from the class to join him in the staff room, smiling brightly at each and every one of them. A few girls remained behind, including Megumi and Yui, but the majority accepted his invitation without hesitation. Dude, that's our new homeroom teacher. Should have stayed in Germany. The second Mr. Katsuna left the classroom, Yui came over to my desk, expressing her disgust for our new teacher. Not a fan, Yui? Most of the girls in class seem to like him. Most of the girls in class are freaking idiots who can't get past that cretin's appearance. Mark my words, Hideaki. That man is trouble. Dude, Yui, I got that from the first expression. When the way he approaches the classroom and the way the stares he does at the girls and all that stuff, that's not normal. Most people, most instructors, most teachers are not going to do that. There's definitely something with them, and it is not good. That's the conclusion I got to right away. I'm surprised he doesn't try to hide it so much. He's pretty open about the way he does it. I mean, all the guys in class can tell it like it's nothing, can see. No need to tell me twice. One look at Megumi and Megumi's name came to mind, I realized that Megumi hadn't moved from her desk. You definitely need to talk to her. As her boyfriend, you can clearly see that there's something wrong with her. You really care about her. You need to get that information. She was still sitting up straight, her eyes glued to the textbook in front of her, as though she didn't even realize that the lesson was over. Megumi? I went over to Megumi's desk and tapped her on the shoulder. Kya! Kya! Whoa, Megumi. Calm down. It's just me. Hideaki. Oh, I'm sorry. You scared me. Right back at you. Wrong. You've been zoned out since the moment class started. Megumi averted her eyes as she listened to my question. Nothing. Megumi, it's not nothing. Don't lie. It's not nothing, girl. There's definitely something wrong. I was just surprised by our new teacher. That's all. I figured that much out on my own. Do the two of you know one another, Megumi? Megumi bit her lip as she thought about responding. You could say that. Another half-hearted answer. This girl really doesn't want to be straight with me, does she? It's something that I don't think she wants to say, but I mean, you can't help her get through this. I mean, she can't continue to do this if this is her teacher. She can't, go through this every day. Her grades are probably going to go down. You never know what else. I guess I'll have to be a little more forceful. Megumi, I have to go. Before I could so much as finish speaking, Megumi jumped up from her seat and ran out of the classroom. Damn, too late. I guess I'll have to ask her later. Seriously, just what is going on here? I can understand Rail being jealous, but Yui's warning and Megumi's reaction? Dude, man. You must... Just think of the worst, dude. Just think of the worst conclusion, and whether that is true or not, just start at the bottom, the worst conclusion that you can think of, and then go up from there. I think that's a good way of approaching it. Think of the worst, so you're on the defensive pretty much. You can start off on the defensive, and you can slowly raise that defensive when you find out more. Maybe it's not as bad as you think. So then you can start raising your defenses. And be like, okay, I don't need to be so paranoid. But there's nothing wrong with that, man. If you actually care about Megumi, man, you can definitely see that something's wrong. And you might want to get up on the defensive and approach her. Yes, a little more aggressively, maybe. Not to mention Chinatsu's absence, or the fact that Shiro is afraid to leave her own home. Huh. And there's a lot of good questions right there. Like, why is Shiro not leaving her house at the moment? Something must have come up. And why haven't you seen Chinatsu lately? That is another good question. Wouldn't it be something if all three of those girls had some sort of connection with this teacher? Holy shit, that just came to mind. Damn, that would mean this guy is even worse than originally. But if it was just, Megumi is one thing, but if it's all three of those girls, that is just something that came to mind. Ooh. We're only 2 days into the new semester, and already it feels like everything is falling apart. Well, we don't really know too much about Chinatsu, or even Shiro to the most part, but we know a little bit more about Shiro, I think. Damn. Holy shit, how many days are passing by? Whew! July now. Well, I guess that was July before. Over the days since Megumi's first encounter with Mr. Katsuna, life passed by in a miserable fashion as I feared. How could you let, a week pass by with this shit, man? With our class polarized by our new homeroom teacher, tensions were unusually high, causing everyone without exception to feel on edge. Shiro remained absent, Yui started skipping class more than ever, and Rayo spent an inordinate amount of time outside of the principal's office. We all felt the hostility, concern, and jealousy that had become commonplace in our own peaceful classroom, or once peaceful classroom. Dude, I don't know why any of you haven't spoken to faculty, higher up faculty, that something is wrong here. It clearly something's. Why haven't you tried to contact Shiro? Of course, you can't contact Shinatsu because you don't know where the hell she lives. But you were Shiro's neighbor. But beyond our petty disagreements and differences of opinion, one person suffered from this situation more than any other. Probably Megumi, huh? That's who it is. Our class representative? Megumi. Megumi, could you fetch some more chalk? And another duster if you would. Okay. Oh, and stay after class a while, would you? I need some assistance with other matters. Fuck. Dude, you're gonna actually let her stay with this fucker? After class. Alone? I don't know if they're gonna be alone, but that's my assumption. I don't know what the hell this bastard might be doing. Even I don't like this freaking piece of shit. Fine. Mr. Katsuna called on Megumi frequently, for even the most menial of tasks, giving the other girls reason to be jealous of Megumi while also making her feel uncomfortable. Other students offered to help out, well, some asking why Megumi was always being singled out, but the answer was always the same. It's the class representative's responsibility. By claiming that it was her job, Mr. Katsuna continued to use Megumi's position against her, keeping her after class, telling her to meet him early, and pushing Megumi's friends away. Mr. Katsuna, if you need help after class, I'd be happy to. He's not gonna let you, man. No, Mr. Aito, that is quite alright. I'm sure your class representative can handle it. You always say that. Stop picking on Megumi and ask someone else for once. 2 weeks detention. Anyone else? He's using his position of power. He's definitely using his position of power to scare anyone from questioning. Power-hungry guy. He knows he has some position of power here, but still, he's just a teacher. He doesn't have ultimate position of power. I really don't know what's up with these kids, man. It's like, if you really have an issue, bring it up. Whenever possible, I tried to inject myself into the situation, as did some of the other boys from class. Though our reasons differed, they didn't want Mr. Katsuna to be alone with Megumi any more than I did, and they were prepared to be suspended for their efforts. I agree, man. Even I think I would, if I noticed some weird shit like that going on. But I would also bring it up with someone in a higher position, that something's amiss. That you feel that something's wrong. But no matter how much we tried, Mr. Katsuna would find an excuse to pull Megumi away, keeping her from her friends and boyfriend alike. Dude, I would spy. I would spy, man. If you wanted to know what the hell is going on, spy on him. Waste your time, your free time, and see what the hell is going on. If anything, keep an eye. Just try to spy on him. Come on. Feeling guilty over previously wanting to spend less time with Megumi, I did my best to seek her out outside of class. Every day I would visit her in the student council room and offer to walk her home. However, since the day he showed up, Megumi hasn't been the same. Where does he get off, telling everybody in class to vacate so he can talk with Megumi in private? I had my suspicions about Mr. Katsuma from the moment he showed up, but now I can't stand him. Don't let it go on, man. It's been like, what, a week already, if not more. Can't let this go on. You can tell everyone knows there's something wrong. The only thing is probably, the only ones who probably don't see anything wrong is the freaking idiotic girls who are probably just, enamored by his looks, as Yui said. Worse, Megumi refuses to say a word. We barely see each other at all now, and when we do, it's like she's not even Megumi. I reflected on that thought for a moment, wondering precisely when Megumi being like herself became a good thing. For a while there, I wanted nothing more than time away from Megumi, or for her to calm down and act like a normal person. Yep, the whole entire thing is, you don't know what you got until you miss it. You don't know the good things you have until it's gone, and kind of missing that. You kind of didn't like it at the moment in time, but now that it's gone, it wasn't so bad after all, was it? Now it's you kind of want that back, don't you? You want it back. You're like, yeah, at that moment in time, it was kind of that whole entire thing where kind of wanted a little alone time from her. Just totally understandable, and maybe with her to calm down a little bit. She was a pretty energetic girl. But now that it is no longer that case, it's kind of the total opposite from what I can see. He has like no time with her, it seems like. And she is totally like calm and beyond just a normal. She's below normal. She went the total opposite direction. So he must totally be stressing out. But now, with Megumi so gloomy and withdrawn, I realized how stupid I was. I liked Megumi the way she was. The loud, clingy, boundary-challenged girl who would hug me out of nowhere. Not this gloomy, introverted girl who jumps at her own shadow. I want the old Megumi back, and if she does return, I'll never resent her again. Gotta fight for her again. She clearly can't fight for herself. There's clearly something wrong. I don't know what the answer is, but you gotta do something. Gotta be something. No matter what it is, you can't just leave her in this state forever. The longer it is, I think the worse it'll just get, man. Overcome by the need to talk to Megumi, I returned to our classroom, the one which Mr. Katsuna had ordered us all to leave. Alright, cool, man. Are you going to see what might be happening? Possibly. From outside, I could faintly hear Megumi talking to our teacher, and as I pressed my ear against the door, the voices became clear. For the last time, I'm not going. Oh, and just why is that? You're the only girl in class who hasn't come to see me, Liar. You may have some of my classmates fooled, but most of them know better than to trust you. Besides, why the hell would I ever want to see you? Even now I'm suppressing the urge to vomit. You little bitch. Your mouth is almost as foul as that of your miserable sister. Shit, she has a sister? Holy shit. And holy shit, that teacher has the nerve to call her student a bitch. Damn. At least you finally gotten the idea of spying on him. That's what I would have did a long time ago, man. Spied on him. I mean, it took you long enough. Our main character, I've noticed, has been slow in acting. He's slow in acting and noticing what the hell is going on and reacting to it. It has been, throughout the whole entire story, he has been slow to reacting to a lot of situations and understanding what the hell is going on and then reacting to it. At least finally he's gotten around to spying on them. I would have did that a long time ago. Many days ago. Not just like, oh. Don't you dare talk about her. Megumi and Mr. Katsuna continued to argue back and forth, further provoking one another with every word. I missed out on whatever started the exchange, but I could tell it was going to be more heated. Fine then. I guess I'll have to spend the break with one of my more sensible classmates. You mean one of the idiots who can't see past your smile and into your black heart? Now, that isn't very nice. What would your classmates think if they heard you calling them idiots? You wouldn't want me to let that little slip of your tongue get out, would you? Go to hell. I don't care what you say. If you say so. Setting off to make good on his promise, Mr. Katsuna left the classroom through the doors at the front of the room, leaving Megumi all alone. Dude, I think it's a good time to walk in. Walk in. Walk in, man. I mean, this is your chance to see that some sort of conversation has occurred, and that you were a witness to part of it, and that now she can't just be quiet, that something's wrong, that you heard something. She might open up. I think this is the perfect opportunity you had to get her to talk more. She's in a state of anger, not frightened. She might actually open up. Once I was sure he was out of earshot, I opened the doors at the back of the classroom, then quietly entered. Hell yeah, you're doing what I thought you should do. Megumi? Hideaki? What are you doing here? I thought that you left with the others. I did, but I came back. I was worried about you, Megumi. Yeah, right. You say you were worried, but you were just standing out here eavesdropping, weren't you? So, you... Yes, he was, but Megumi, he's here. Blow him off like he doesn't care, man. Megumi, that's not what I don't want to hear it, Hideaki. I've done everything in my power to help you, to please you, to get close to you, and how do you respond? Damn, this isn't working out the way I thought it would. Coming in there, she would actually open up. No, she's turning on Hideaki. The second your girlfriend is in trouble, you pretend not to notice. You turn the other way, like it's not your problem. I think he took way too long to respond, to notice this and to react. I think that might be part of the issue. It might not be that he walked in and listened. The part of the issue might be that you waited too long to respond, dude, like many other things. And you know what? If that's how it's going to be, then I don't need a boyfriend like you. Shit! No! Dude, even if she does that right now, don't give up on her, man. Megumi darted out the door, bursting past me with full force, unbefitting her frame. Megumi, wait! I called out to Megumi, extending my arms toward the thin air as she quickly escaped my view. But even before I raised my arm, I knew that she was gone. Damn, man. Waited too long, dude. You waited too long to try to get her to open up in a conversation and try that. Ran out into the hallway, trying to catch up with Megumi. Fortunately, I had no idea which direction she had headed in, nor did I know where she might go. The only place I could see her returning to were home, or the student council clubroom. With those two locations in mind, I turned my attention to the clubroom, preparing myself to chase Megumi. As I tried to run after her, my legs wouldn't move. I wanted to chase after her. I really did. And yet, she's right. I saw what that bastard was doing, and all I did was put up feeble, passive resistance, which got me nowhere. When those two were arguing, I didn't step in. I just listened, curious about the relationship they shared. Well, that second part, personally, I don't think that's an issue, per se. Not. You were letting them finish the conversation. You still walked in there. You could have darted in. I guess you could have interrupted listening and things like that. I guess maybe that would have been a little bit slightly better of an approach. So let them get through some of the conversation, and then, especially when he called her a bitch, that might have been a perfectly good time to come in through the door. Stand up for her and basically tell him why. I would have probably went in there, maybe in that situation, instead of just listening. Walked in and said, "How dare you call my girlfriend a bitch, fucker." I hope their relationship, hopefully he doesn't give up on her. That's what I hope. And worst of all, when Megumi first started acting gloomy, I was glad. Shit, man. Were you? Was he? I don't know, he didn't give off that vibe, really, that he was glad. But now I guess he's saying that himself. That's kind of you know, idiotic. I was fucking happy that my girlfriend was depressed. I wanted her to be quiet and to stay away from me. Shit, man. That's not a very good thought. That's not a very good idea. You know, I guess if that's what is he lying to himself right here, or is that really how he felt? That's what I want. That's what I wonder. Because you know she ran away and said all that stuff. Is he just lying to himself at this moment in time? The whole time I've been so unbelievably selfish. Not once have I truly thought about what Megumi wanted, or why she wouldn't tell me. As far as being her boyfriend goes, I failed utterly. Damn, man. I hopefully, you know, now that you see that, hopefully you can fix your relationship. I mean, I think it's possible, because it's not going to go anywhere. This conflict of her and the teacher, the homeroom teacher, is not going anywhere. Alright guys, I think this is a good spot where we can end this off. We can see what happens in this next week. As it says here, it says another week has passed by. So apparently he hasn't spoken to Megumi in a week. Damn. This went from happy times to sad times, man. Hope they fix their relationship. He finds out what the hell's going on more with, you know, relationship between her and this teacher, and also whatever this hell has to do with her sister, because they mentioned her sister in there. So are they going to present her as another character coming up soon? Really hope. I don't know what the hell's going on, but it's hit a sad point at the moment. Well guys, thank you for watching this. Hopefully you enjoyed it. I really hope that this relationship and all this this conflict that's going on right here gets resolved. I can only imagine the reasoning behind why Megumi's and this teacher, all the negative things that come to mind. It could not all be correct. Maybe Megumi and him, nothing happened between them, but maybe between Megumi's sister and him. And she's just pissed at that. Well guys, thank you all for watching, and you all have a great day.